Your hourly wage for the work you're doing to create content is over $98 an hour. It's incredible. Well, I am extremely excited. This has got to be one of my most requested videos that I get every single year, and one of our most watched videos each year. And that's because I do a survey asking you how much you're earning as a blogger, and then I get to share the results of the survey with all of you and with everybody who's just kind of curious. How much do bloggers earn? And I did the survey this year and I expected a certain outcome and was very pleasantly surprised. And I dove really far into the data because I wanted to understand why it worked out the way that it did. You're gonna see here in just a minute, but I'm super excited for the results. And there's some really cool actionable stuff that we can learn from this to help you earn much more from your blog going forward in 2023. All right, the first thing that I wanna share with you is overall how much people are earning per 1,000 page views, as well as per blog post that they write. Now, the per 1,000 page views number it's because basically all the ways that we earn money, especially through ads and stuff, usually it's measured in like RPM or EPMV, or we use a metric we call EPMP, which is earnings per milli or 1,000 page views. So that's the number that we're gonna use. And what it does is it just kind of levels it. Someone has 8,000, someone has 18,000, and depending on the amount of traffic you get, your earnings vary widely. So here is what I found. For 2023, right now, the survey data says that per 1,000 page views on your website, on average, you guys are earning $36.80. Now, without any context, that number is gonna feel like just a number. What does that even mean? Let me give you a little bit of context here. The average respondent to this survey is getting about 60,500 page views every single month on their blog. That means that on average, all of you who responded are earning $2,226.52. That's the average number. That takes every site from several of you who responded earning $0 to people on the other end of the spectrum earning $13,000 a month, $15,000, one person here earning $50,000 a month. But most people kind of in that $1,000 to $12,000 per month range. So what impacts the amount you earn if it goes everywhere from $0 to $50,000 per month? There are a few specific things, and I'm so excited to get to walk through them with you. The first one is this. Obviously, the more traffic you have on your website, the more you can earn. More people coming to the site, more ad revenue, more affiliate product revenue, more money that you earn from selling your own products, especially your own digital products. We're gonna come back to that one in just a couple of minutes. But what drives the most traffic? On average, it's the most content, but only to a point. So here's what I found. We know this from past results as well as from these results, that people who have fewer than like 10 blog posts on the website basically can't expect to earn anything. You might earn $1 here or there, but it just doesn't do very much for you. But on average, people responding to this survey who had 30 blog posts or fewer were averaging $15 per 1,000 page views. Now that number is driven up by a few people who have like about 30 blog posts on the website, but that number starts to go up as we approach 100 page views per month. Anywhere from about 31 to 100, you're averaging about $19. But here's what's cool. For those people whose websites, whose blogs have between 100 and 500, now it's a wide range, right? Most of these are kind of in the 1 to 300 range. Everyone who fell into that 100 to 500 range, that number shoots way up. In fact, it more than doubles. And they're averaging we're talking middle of the road here, $41.59 per 1,000 page views. A lot of you with blogs are gonna hear that number and you're gonna say, no way. I don't know anybody with that kind of earnings. I am nowhere near that. I earn nothing. If that's how you feel, I want you to consider a couple of things. One, how much content do you have? But also, there are some of you that put a lot of content and they hear a number like this and they say, well, I just need to write more and more and more. But you're not figuring out the things that make the content good. And we're gonna come again back to that in just a few minutes. But here's what this means. Put more content on your website and on average, you're earning way more than people who have very little content on their website. But we see this number drop off. People that have over 500 posts on their website are averaging only $34.06. You can see on this graph just how much of an impact it has kind of being in that sweet spot. And I think the reason for that, and this same phenomenon happened last year, It's when you get to a certain point, you have so much content on your website that you're cannibalizing traffic from your own blog posts, or you're just writing about topics that are just so specific and minute, like there's 3 people that are ever gonna search that. And it's just because you've covered so much already on your website. So when people ask, should I have 1 website or 2? I'm gonna say, unless your one website has at least 100 blog posts on it, I'm probably not starting a second one yet. However, if you do have like 400 or 500 blog posts on a website, I'm probably gonna say you're likely to grow more by starting another one, if you really have this process down. But it's not just traffic. I really wanted to know what factors mattered the most, so I asked a few other questions in my survey. I asked, how are you monetizing? And I allowed people to fill in all of the different ways they're monetizing their websites. We have people who are monetizing with ads only, and that group of people across the entire spectrum are averaging about $17.19 per 1,000 page views. So even if you have a ton of content on your website and really good traffic, you're averaging only a little bit more than those people that only have 30 blog posts on their website. But we shouldn't just do ads alone. You see those people who do ads and affiliate marketing, their EPMP grows by 74%. That's a lot. $12 more per 1,000 page views. 74%, that's like, not that far from double the income by doing a second form of monetization. But this is where it gets even cooler. People who do digital products, whether they do ads or not, just anybody who has a digital product that they're selling. Information products is like a huge thing that we love to talk about here on Income School. These people are earning 3.9 times as much money as people who are doing just ads. I also found another cool result. I decided to look for how much Project 24 members earn versus people who are not members of Project 24. For those of you who don't know, Project 24 is our membership where I teach you step by step by step how to build a successful blog. This survey showed that this year, currently, people who are members of Project 24 earn 89% more per 1,000 page views. But you might be asking, is it just that Project 24 members write a lot more content? I decided I wanted to look at the dollars earned per blog post written as well. And here's what I found. Project 24 members, they also earn 91% more dollars per blog post that they write. Almost twice as much money as people who are not Project 24 members. And the reason for that is Project 24 members learn how to write content, first the right content, the content that's actually going to get them real search traffic. And they know how to write content in a way that they make more money from that content. Project 24 members are also more likely to create a digital product because that's something we teach you how to do. And we know exactly how important it is because you earn that much more money. Here's another cool thing. I just mentioned digital products. I told you that you earn 3 times as much per 1,000 page views. You earn 5.7 times as much per blog post. So that's a lot of improvement on the amount of time it takes to actually write a blog post. So now let me tell you why this was so surprising to me. This year, there have been so many kind of upsetting factors for bloggers. People are just talking about how much blogging is dying. And there's been 2 major things. The first one has actually been the bigger impact I've seen so far. And that has just been changes in the Google algorithm. Google core updates have been big disruptors in the past, and this last year was no exception. And so that's something that we've seen really impacting a lot of sites, really diminishing the amount of traffic they're getting, which is why it's so exciting for me to see how much money people are still earning per blog post. That said, this year compared to last year, the dollars earned per blog post per month did go down a bit, but the dollars earned overall have gone up, because a lot of you have realized that you need to create more topical authority, so you're creating more content around specific clusters of information, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you need to do. And I think that as we get that dialed in, our dollars per blog post are probably going to improve going forward. The second major factor that everybody's worried about is AI. And what is AI going to do to blogging? So far, basically nothing. I've looked at a ton of websites, a lot of my own included, and I have seen absolutely zero impact since ChatGPT came out. And I mean, just nothing. You don't see anything. The traffic continues to move exactly how it was before, if not even better. Will AI impact blogging in the future? Yes. Most certainly it will. But what I'm seeing so far makes me really optimistic about the future of blogging, knowing that there is going to continue to be a place for human-created content going forward in the future. But I do think that there's a place for learning how to use AI in conjunction with human efforts to create really good, really helpful content and still be able to have a really good human element to it. I think people like that connection, and if we abandon that because AI is cool and flashy and we think it can do just as good a job, I think we're gonna see some really negative downsides. More on that going forward. I think we're gonna be talking about AI a lot in the coming months and years because it's absolutely going to force us to adapt, but I think in good ways. And if we continue to do a good job of this, we're gonna keep earning some great money. So let's talk about how earnings have grown. 2 years ago, we did the same survey. From then until last year, blog earnings grew by almost 8% per 1,000 page views. We're talking about based on traffic. And then from last year to this year, I was completely expecting those two things to cause earnings to decrease. Honestly, I didn't even bring up the third one, and this is a huge one, and that is just overall economic factors. Advertisers are not paying nearly as much now as they used to just because the economy's a bit down. So EPMPs or EPMVs or RPMs, depending on who you're using as your ad provider, have been going down. And yet, from last year to this year, respondents to the survey have increased their income per 1,000 page views by over 17%. Just look at how these numbers are growing. It's incredible to me to see how you have already been adapting. And that's what we're here for on this channel, is to help you know exactly what things you need to do to be able to have these kind of results while most bloggers are out there are complaining about the headwinds and the things that are gonna prevent them from ever being successful. I wanna help guide you so that you know exactly what's coming and you know exactly what to do about it as it comes. We're not gonna overreact. What we're gonna do is we're gonna face the things that are heading toward us and we're going to adapt as needed, but not until we need to. If we make a lot of changes right now, it's mostly just gonna be guessing. Okay, now there's another number I just absolutely have to share with you from this survey that really gets me excited. I get people talking about how this isn't a good business model, you do all this work, and in the end, you don't make that much money for the time you put into it. There's a lot of risk. When you're creating a business or doing any type of investment at all, risk means there's a good chance that the thing that you put all of your money into, you could decrease the amount of money as much as you could increase it, right? If there's a really risky investment, we know that there's a chance for big reward, but we also know that there's a higher likelihood of big failure and losing that money, at least compared to other more moderate investments. I would not in any way consider blogging a high-risk business model because the cost to get into it is so low compared to most other money-making methodologies out there. Most every business you're gonna get into is gonna have a huge upfront cost. Bank loans and stuff where you could lose your house if you fail. With a blog, all you're out is whatever time you spent creating that blog and a few dollars here and there. It's just not a risky business model. People who say that don't understand what risk really means. The chances of success at this versus other businesses is not any lower. In fact, a huge percentage of businesses that people start fail. They don't exist within 5 years. Blogging has a similar failure rate, but it's mostly comes down to the people who are going to stick it out, learn how to do it right, and really follow through. So the number that I have to share with you is, what's your hourly wage as a blogger? So what I did is I took the dollars per post, the average, not even the high end, just the average. And what I found was over the course of 5 years, you take that blog post and just earn from it for the next 5 years. Most of the blog posts we write continue to earn us money for years and years and years and years into the future, well beyond 5. But if it's 5 years, and let's say every single blog post takes you 6 hours to write. I'm being pretty generous here because most of the blog posts I write take me 1 to 2, and Project 24 members learn how to do the same. 3-4 hours is kind of a lot of time to spend on a blog post. But for a total beginner, 6 hours probably feels a bit more realistic. Your hourly wage for the work you're doing to create content is over $98 an hour. It's incredible. The difference is you don't get paid up front. That payment comes in dividends over time. So you do the work up front, but you keep earning for so long. And again, this is the average. What if you create a digital product and you more than double that number? It's an incredible business opportunity. I'm so excited. The numbers that I'm seeing make me super optimistic for the future. We can continue to make this an amazing business model And again, like I said, we'll adapt as needed, but overall, things are going great for bloggers. And you are totally slaying it, so congratulations on your great blogging success. Now, for those of you who hear these numbers and say, yes, but I'm trying and I'm earning $0, what am I supposed to do? I put out a video just last week on exactly what to do to diagnose why you're not making money on your blog and what to do about it. Make sure you go check out that video right now. You don't want to miss it if you are anywhere near $0 or just much lower income than you're expecting to earn from your blog. I hope to see you in that video. I also hope you'll subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you in our video next week.